reliable internet you need and the awesome customer service you deserve. Switch to Internet 100 for just $29.99 per month. And now, learn how to get $150 on us at Huawei.com. Limited to new customers with autopay and paperless billing. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Offer subject to change. Restrictions and terms apply.
Officer Robert Walsh. He was 36 years old in 1981 and was a proud officer with the New York City Police Department. He was assigned to the 7th Precinct on the Lower East Side, was the recipient of 20 awards and accommodations during his nearly 12 years on the force, and was a father of 4. Lieutenant James Courtney, the operations officer at the 7th Precinct, described Officer Walsh as an active, experienced, dedicated, and popular police officer. On the night of Sunday, January 12, 1981, just after 11:30 p.m., Officer Walsh had just completed his tour of duty and had stopped on his way home for a drink at a local bar just right around the corner from his home. He was more likely aware of a series of terrorizing holdups at bars in the area and in Brooklyn in recent months, but he would have no idea that on this night, this winter's night in New York City, this bar was going to be the next target. Just after midnight, while talking to a friend at the bar, 3 men, all wearing stocking masks and armed with guns, entered the bar. The first guy quickly announced this was a stick-up as he was brandishing a revolver in each hand. One pointing at Officer Walsh, the other at his friend. As Officer Walsh began to see what was occurring, he was able to draw his firearm and identify himself as a police officer. The thug quickly turned and fired, 1 round hitting the officer in the shoulder, the officer's gun falling to the ground, as did he. The thugs began shouting in Spanish and started to make a move to leave. Their plan that night had been obviously interrupted. As the leader, the one with the 2 guns, passed by the injured officer now laying on the ground, he leaned over, pressed his gun to the officer's head, and shot him again, this time mortally wounding him in front of other patrons. The officer's friend gave chase to the murderers and provided arriving police a description of the getaway car. The lead thug that morning, the cold-blooded, ruthless murderer who executed Officer Walsh, was later identified as 16-year-old Richard Rivera, a known criminal, drug user, and dangerous street thug. Rivera was eventually caught and sentenced to a mere 30 years to life in prison. 2019, after multiple attempts at parole, he somehow, incredibly, was let out. He later complained the process had been unfair, and he was now a free man at the age of 56. Officers Walsh's children, well, they are now grown adults, but still living a life sentence without their father. If the fact that this piece of crap thug, drag of society, and so many other descriptive words I can't even begin to say here today on air, only served 39 years for the heinous execution of a decorated officer and father of 4, if that doesn't outrage you enough and leave you wondering how this dirtbag was ever able to see the light of day, maybe you shouldn't listen to the rest of the story. I will tell you now, I don't even know if I can get through what I'm about to tell you because it's so vile, so repulsive, but it needs to be told to wake up this country. This nightmare, it's unbelievable. This convicted murderer, cop killer, Richard Rivera, well, some might say he has a new job. You see, another lowlife, also known as Governor Cuomo of New York, last year ordered all municipalities in New York to submit a plan by April 1st of this year, a plan on how they would reimagine public safety in New York. By now you may be saying, how do these stories intersect? How on earth can a convicted cop killer, not just a killer but an executioner, how could he be part of this? Well, remember, today's woke communities where crime is no longer frowned upon, where good is now bad and bad, well, bad is now good. The lowest form of a human being you can imagine. Well, now he sits as an advisor in Ithaca, New York on the Tompkins County Board of Reimagining Public Safety Collaborative, where he will help feedback on policing and law enforcement, where he will help others reimagine a new type of policing, whatever the heck that may be in the eyes of a killer. We are out of our minds. We have lost our way. This country will never be the same again if we continue down this path. Stand up for what is right, and I tell you, this is not right.
Live from LAPD Firearms Range and Training Facility, this is On Target, the latest from the firearms industry, the products and politics that affect your hobby and liberty. This program may not be politically correct, but it is On Target. Now, your host, Eric Delbert.
Good afternoon and welcome to On Target, broadcasting live from the studios of LAPD Firearms Range and Training Facility. We're located at 999 Bethel Road. That's 999 just west of 315. I'm your host, Eric, along with my father, Phil. For those of you